So we're learning about HTML and CSS and building websites, and in this video we're going to take a look at position. And we saw position fixed in the previous video. In this one we're going to see position relative, and in the next video we'll look at position absolute, and then we'll compare absolute to relative. So relative, the main thing you need to know about relative is relative to itself. So in position fixed, we said position fixed, right? Like, let's look at the code. And we said position fixed of something, and then we just said top left, or we could have said bottom right, or bottom left, or top right. Like, we specify it's fixed, and we anchor it to a point. And interestingly, with position fixed, I'll show you one more thing, and then we'll jump into relative. But here we have position fixed. I'm just going to copy that code and do an O2 here for position fixed, and then open it up. And we'll get rid of all this, and we'll just do here the header, and then bam, bam, nothing in it, and then here's our CSS, and we'll get rid of all that, and now we'll just do header, and we'll put a border around it. Border, 1 pic solid red. Okay, let's look at that. Split vertically. So we have a header and we have a border around it, and I don't have it open. Reveal in Finder. And so there's my header. It's left to right, right? And it's a little bit off the top because we didn't reset anything. And if I did a little bit of a height on that of 25 pixels, right, there's the height. But watch this. I could do position fixed, and where did it go? It's all the way over on the left now. And I could do top 0, left 0, and it's off in that top left corner right there now. You see it? And then also I could do right 0. Ready? Ah! I stretched it. Right? I pinned it to the left 0, right 0, and it's like, okay, I'll stretch and touch both zeros on the left and the right. Isn't that cool? And so if I did, then let me just make this border a little bit bigger. And if I did bottom 0, nothing. Why? Because the bottom right now of header, like, let's look, see where the body is. Border, 10 pics, solid, I don't know, yellow, right? So we're actually past that. The body isn't filled in at all, but if it was, then we'd stretch down. So that's just an interesting thing. You could pin and make things stretch. And you saw in the previous example that when we did this, it took things out of the normal document flow. Look at the document flow. And that header is no longer in document flow. It's not flowing with the document, baby. Right? It's no longer flowing, right, with everything else. It's fixed. And so position takes things out of the document flow. All right. So now let's look at relative. I'm going to close these. And here we have position relative. And it's relative to itself. That's the main thing you need to know. And let me just see what this page looks like. Whole lot of comments, and we've got some code to look at, so we'll reveal that in Finder and run it. And so without position relative on this code, there's position relative. Without that code there, we have these boxes. 1, 2, 3. And then here I said position relative, top 20, left 20. Well, relative to where it's supposed to be, the top area come down 20, the left area come down 20. Right? So it's relative to itself, relative to the location it should have been. It's no longer there, and it takes it out, right? Takes it and puts it in a different place. What would happen if we had div times 100? Let's just go nuts. Got a lot of divs there, and then we scroll. That's still going to scroll with the document, okay? So that's still, it's out of the document flow. Is that right? Document flow. Document flow. That's where I get this question, what is document flows? The arrangement of page elements is defined by positioning statements in the order of HTML statements, as how different elements take up space, arrange themselves around each other. Okay. So I would say that one is still in document flow. But I always thought of flow as like where it would be, where it's supposed to be, and it's no longer where it was supposed to be. I don't know. Fixed is definitely out of document flow, but relative, right? It's not where it should have been if things just naturally flowed. We moved it. And its position. It's now sitting on top of something. So it's because it's sitting on top of the next element, it's not like knocking it down. It's no longer in the same plane of existence, right? So I'm going to say it's out of document flow. But it moves with it. So that's something to know. All right. So that's position relative, and we'll learn about position absolute in the next video. And for position relative, do y'all want to try to make, let's do one, okay? So create this page. Hey, please like this video and subscribe, because that helps other people find these videos and it helps support me as a teacher. And if you want to take this whole course, go to Greater Commons, and this entire course is right here. We just turned Greater Commons on, so it doesn't have a whole lot of reviews, but come take it. And if you can't afford it, just message me on Twitter, and I'll get you discounted or free access. See ya.